I don't know who's Marco. I just hit this lotto. I'm building up my cargo, and I know.
Hello everyone, my name is Mayani Jessica B. Longkov from BTEL Ed4, and I am here to present about my output entitled The Learner's Development and Environment. So to begin, our instructor assigned us to conduct an interview of a parent along with his or her child. So in conducting the interview, my respondent is Mrs. Maricel Heraldes, teacher of Patupat National High School, handling AP subject. The interview goes like this. There are 4 stages of child development. The first one is learner's physical aspect. Mother's health during the pregnancy. High risk of pregnancy because I was 30 years old at that time. Ailments or health problems of the learner as a child. He was confined 3 times at Chonghua Hospital due to seizure every time his tooth grew. 2 or 3 teeth grew at the same time. Age of the learner when he started to talk or walk. He talked the first word Papa when he was 8 months old, and he had his first step when he was 16 months old. Food preferences of the learner as a child and at present. So Martin literally loves to eat food prepared at home. He loves soup and vegetables. Who took care of him or her as a child? I am so lucky because I have my mother-in-law and sister-in-law who helped me in rearing my 2 children at their early stage. So in learner's social aspect, describe your child's sociability. Friendly, outgoing, or shy or loner. He is super friendly and can easily be friends to other children in our place. Who were the learner's playmates? He has his brother Andre, Martin, and the kids in our neighborhood. As a child, then was he or she allowed to play outside? When we were in Talisay City, we did not allow him to go out all the time. But now he can play outside the house because we have space outside but with precautions. Is he or she allowed to go out with friends? Do you have rules for him or her to follow regarding going out? What are these rules? He is only 8 years old. He can only go out with his Ate Pia and brother Andre, but the time is limited only. In emotional moral aspect, how do you provide a nurturing environment for your child? He has a very happy environment. As a mother, I always listen to my child's sentiment. During the time of pandemic, we see it that our children is really okay and not suffering like mental health. How do you discipline your children? I am a disciplinarian and strict mother, but friendly and caring at the same time. You have rules in the house? What are they? Yes, we have rules at home, like the use of television and cell phones. Their study time is also observed. When to play with their peers. How do you impose the rules? Simply, by reminding them before I go to work. I call them on the phone and ask their performance when I arrive at home. And during bedtime, we have our talk. Learner's cognitive aspect. How do you monitor his or her performance in school? How do you motivate him or her? I am his tutor at home. By that, I can easily monitor his performance, and during the face-to-face, I talk to his teacher in school. and ask his performance. As a mother and tutor, motivation is always there. When they are done with their task, I also apply the reward system. We buy their toy or favorite food. Do you have rules at home to help him develop good study habits? What are these rules? How are they implemented? Rules at home are not that hard to follow. All rules are appropriate at his age. They're always reminded about their study habits, in answering their modules, when they can go and play with their friends. The use of television and cell phones. They are also responsible in preparing their bed at night and to fix it in the morning. Personal hygiene is very important. They already knew what to do, like brushing their teeth in the morning and before going to bed. The rules they follow become their habit. So Martin has rich of nutrients in his body because, as I observe, he is a healthy kind of kid. Maybe because he loves to eat foods that are prepared by his mom in the house. So in social development, as what I have observed, Martin is a very friendly child. His mother doesn't allow him to go outside in nighttime because at his age, the time limits when he play outside. Instead, his mother allow him to play inside the house along with his cousins and neighbors. So while playing, Martin allow his cousin to borrow his toys. So in emotional moral development, Martin has a joyous environment wherein we're surrounded by happy persons. He can easily express his thoughts in terms of sharing his opinion about what he is watching. And also, Martin and his brother were very close to each other. So in cognitive development, Martin is good in speaking English, most especially when I ask him any questions, and he would answer me in English. From your home visit and interview, what do you think is the style of parenting experienced by the learner? Explain your answer. I think the parenting style of Mr. and Mrs. Geraldis is somehow an authoritative parenting, wherein authoritative parents invest time and energy into preventing behavior problems before they start. They also use positive discipline strategies to reinforce positive behavior, like praise and reward systems. So as what I have observed, the parents and his child has a good relationship, wherein they are very close to each other. Somehow the kid is being spoiled by love of his parents, but in imposing rules and regulations, Mrs. Heraldez is somehow strict in rearing his child because there's always limitations on what they are doing, and at the same time having a consequences every time the child creates any mistakes. But the good thing is the mother always explained why they experienced that kind of consequences and why is it the mother punished them. Also, parents gave their child a reward if ever the child got a perfect score on their exams or whatever child's achievement. The parents supports their child by always inspiring them to move forward. Relating your data with what you learned from child development, what family factors do you think contribute in the development and overall adjustment of the learner in school? For me, as what I have observed, the family factors that contributes the development and overall adjustment of the child is parental attitudes, because the parents handle their children well, wherein they provide positive environment that would possibly influence their child, by having a good behavior and pleasant attitudes. The child learns to respect other people, most especially the older ones. The parents shows a good manners and positive behavior, wherein I can say that what was the parents showed in the house would merely reflect on the attitude and behavior towards their child. By that, children who have parents who encourage academic success are more likely to develop their own aspirations for a higher education. In this way, parent education is a good predictor of a child's academic success. I conclude that in rearing children, it is much effective to apply the styles of parenting, which is the authoritative parenting. Parents tend to create rules and regulations for their children, but at the same time discuss it on the kid. However, this would help them to know if he or she is doing the right thing or not. And if he create any mistake, then the child would not confuse and be responsible for the next time because he already know and his mother also informed him the consequences if they would possibly break the rules.